You know, the sky is the limit.
Mm-hmm.
But then somebody else came and said, no, the sky's not the limit because the universes are out there. We have multiverses and it's still expanding and it's all expanding and so on and so forth. So it's like the more we try to build, we're building on, like you said, somebody else's reference point. At one point, their reference point only went to that part because they're not trying to go off the earth because the earth is flat, and if you keep going, you'll fall over into Hades and so on and so forth. So once you study and you really just pay attention to all of the details, I think that's our biggest problem. We are in denial of what's really going on. And so we get out of religion, and then we get conscious and we get black power and this and that. But then that becomes spooky religion as well. Because we run around talking about, I'm God, I'm king, I'm this and that. But then where is the representation? And we would really
that's something I asked too. It's like, where are the miracles that were happening back then? Where are they now? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, from checking out those stories and stuff.
Right, from what they taught.
You be like, man,
Egypt.
The angels were more active back then.
Right,
you know what I'm saying? Like, what's going on? Like,
let me out there.
Yeah, you know. So
I'm tired of this crap.
It's like, you know, is it that or is it that? We have
it. Oh.
Aha! Exactly. Yeah. It's possibly that too.
And I mean, honestly, you got.
I personally don't think the Bible is the history.
Yeah, and that's why I say according to that story, what we have to acknowledge is this: miracles are really still happening to this day. Yet we're still looking for the Euro's interpretation of miracles.
Exactly.
Like one guy, we was talking and we were building or whatever, and then he said something and I said something and I was like, dang man, that's deep. He was like, stop doing it. Stop doing that. Basically, it's natural. These are things that are natural. It's of nature. You have the ability to, as again, transmutate, transcend what this realm says you can do. You have that ability to do those things. But still, in 2015, people are still thinking Moses is the prophet. And he was just a prophet of God.
Exactly.
That's not what that scripture said.
Is that they're putting people on a pedestal and kind of like saying, you know, this is special and only this, you know, and in that it's like
it's just like this is special and so are you.
Exactly.
This is
exactly
special.
Like supposedly Yeshua said, like, you know, you can do these things in greater. You know what I'm saying?
And that goes back to all of that. It's not historical like this really happened. It's things that was taken out of things that were really happening. And then they watered it down and made themselves the gods.
And too, as far as the topic of you know, the miracles happening these days, it's like if Muhammad went in the caves and meditated and until the angel showed up, whatever, or you know, which supposedly Moses went to the mountain, meditated, few of them, they go up to the mountain and meditate. You know what I'm saying? And the angels show up. It's like, that says something about meditation and about things we can do. Like, if folks are like trying to juice these religions as much as they are out of just these few people's revelations, and it's like, more folks may need to tap in to these angels, you know what I'm saying? The Mikaels, Raphaels, different ones and ones, because they must be there to be utilized.
Because again, the white man and devil, the white man and devil, you jump from being a slave to now a white man's devil, and then not understanding that. Then we say what? Oh, the Bible and all that stuff was plagiarized from us, but then we don't want to use the Bible. If it was plagiarized, that means it was stolen. And if it was stolen and they copied it, then that means that there's still some elements in there that we can take from that to understand what in the world are we going through? Why are we still going through this? Maybe because we're not taking into the consideration the elements. Then you start saying angels. Angels may be those beings that are on the other side of hydrogen, coming into this realm of hydrogen saying, hey, that's not right. Do it like this, do it like that. And this is what you're supposed to say. Like I said, tell them this, Muhammad. Tell them this, Muhammad. Why? Because we are on the other side looking, y'all seeing Interstellar, right?
Yeah,
on the other side, stepping into this realm saying, no, don't go, don't go, don't go. That black hole. It's all ways of telling the same story. Everybody speaks of beings coming from up there down here. Whether it be the Thunderbirds, whether it be the Shushuki, whether it be the Umarwe, whether it be the Kachina, it's like whether it be the Dogon, talking about the Nomos, the Enlil, the Ilu, the Anunnaki, the Netaru. All these beings talk about beings who come and speak of another realm, other planets, or just the heaven, and they come down here to instruct us on what to do. Yet, in them coming down here to instruct us, what they're met with the majority of the time is disobedience. And we don't want to hear.
Something I see maybe that's a bridge between what we're saying is Kemet. That's an example of the Enlightenment and the race and culture being refined to such a high point, like to a, in the way of alchemy. You know what I'm saying? To where like you see those statues and the gold they were dealing with. Maybe it has to do with the gold body, the light body, you know what I'm saying, and the golden body. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they call it.
And the golden age, and all of this type of stuff. Like, as a society, to go there, rather than just as like one individual yogi or one person here or there. As a society,
and that's why I say it's all about obedience. That's where I'm at now. It's like I started to realize it's about obedience. Even if you say, okay, I'm Christian and I believe in the Bible, if you are obedient to the words of Christ, the Messiah, then that should take you to a level that you will be able to be superior in your place, in your space. If you listen to that and you understand that, then you'll get to the mastery of where you're supposed to be. Muslims, if you're obedient to that, what it says you're supposed to do, how you're supposed to walk, then there should be a certain light, as you say, and that comes forth from you that gives you this resonance. And everybody has that certain resonance. We have our resonance. If we were obedient to our African ancestors, that's what they know. That's why they robbed us of all of our African ancestors, our ancestry and our heritage and our culture. Culture is not ego. The denial of culture is ego. Like the denial of culture is ego. I look at it like we just look for the points that bring us together. Yeah. Not in denial. We're in denial if we say, okay, I don't see this when I see you. You're lying.
Though
that's you see it.
Though that's where the conversation you know, elevates is through the language. All of this is based on the language that we're even talking. You know what I'm saying? The resonance is gonna be kept by that. You know, because I've noticed through practicing some of the Islam, some of those surahs, it's like they have a certain resonance. Though, like you're saying, if there's a resonance that's natural for us and best for us, right, then if we study that, then and experiment with that,
that's it.
Then that's where the build goes up. Because then we're dealing with a resonance that's not kept by this language.
Everything is sound. We know that. Everything is sound, everything is tone. Even after you get to a certain level of sound, it turns into a light. It turns into light. It can create a form of what we consider light. That's why when you turn on your lights, when you turn off the fan and turn up but leave that light on, you sit long enough, you'll hear the noise or that resonance of that light. And the electricity has a certain type of hum. There's a hum. When you go out and you see all the lines and power lines or whatever. Power lines have a certain tone, a hum to it. Everything has a certain hum, a certain type of vibration. So 100%, if you get on your vibration, they know that. That's why they rob you. They tell us the story. Same with the Bible. There was no history. History books was no history. There was no historical records. They made a lot of that stuff up. We weren't all slaves. We didn't all come over here on those ship boats or whatever. So again, he had to graft these stories so that it could lessen us. That's why they called them lessons. He had to graft these stories and give them to us as lessons so that you will not know that they tell you, oh yeah, see, the slaves was coming together and they was plotting, so that's why they took their language. No, the slaves were resonating and you could not entrap them because they were on their own language. It tells you right there in the Bible. What did it say in the Bible with the Tower of Babel? Why did God come down there and diversify the tongue? Because it said anything that they imagine to do, they will be able to do. That's what it is. Anything that they imagine to do, they will be able to do.
Oh, the
Tower of Babel.
Okay, yeah.
In the Bible. Again, they tell you the story, but they told us the story because a lot of times they basically knew, like you said, that cap was there. So they know we can tell you the story because you're still not speaking the language, you're not speaking the tones, you're not resonating, so therefore we can give you all the secrets now, and you still won't do it because the key is in the tones, in the vibration.
It's like a mirror. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So it's like they'll tell you in a story like that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, they were all speaking one tongue.
Right.
They were building this tower, trying to challenge the creator. You know what I'm saying? So God came down, changed it, diversified their tongues.
Right.
But in the heart and mind of just the regular person, they see that as, oh man, sin.
Right.
Exactly. God, stay away from that shit.
Exactly.
And honestly, you know what I'm saying? Like, we don't want to do that. Let's stay away from that.
Exactly.
And it's a self-perpetuating.
It is.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Authority, supreme authority idea.
Yeah.
That kind of caps certain potential. You know what I'm saying? But to the person who is initiated into the mystery system, they can see it's a mirror.
Yeah.
That's oh no, this is something powerful.
Exactly.
Is what they're saying.
Yeah.
And it's not to be abused.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
There it is. That's Yes.
You know?
Yep. 100%.
But the normal layperson gonna think like, they said God might send down a lightning bolt on us if we try to do that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Might cause an earthquake. You know?
Yeah.
That's fine.
And that's
And
real.
that fear is real. It
so
ripples throughout creation. You know?
And on that note, asking, because he was saying about, you know, like what's our take on, you know, the Farrakhan, what he's saying, and the like Brother Polite and Signetter, just pretty much.
You check Signetter and Polite?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Good point.
yeah, and it's like,
I just was watching some last night.
Yeah,
Right.
let's watch something there.
so it's
A
just
lot of good little stuff here and there.
on that, I say there's still, like you said, that underlying fear. And I know we still pretty much doing the same rigmarole. We're still in the same safe
It
place.
is something like that. Like a project. Plan a day.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? A date at a time.
Mm-hmm.
And we see the idea that on this date, at this time, no matter where you are in the world, you're going to sit down or to stop, go within and say a particular sound, a particular mantra, or just hum, maybe a certain note. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Show people what it is, how it goes. For 2 minutes.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And honestly, that's
And just see what happens.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Like, who wants to participate in this
Yeah.
project? And
Yeah.
see what happens if we do this.
Exactly.
that's
Experiments, then we become scientists.
and this is what I'm saying too. Like, I'm
See how
starting
many
to come,
people we can get to join this project and to commit to doing it.
You know it.
And then see what happens.
It's a resonance
try
experiment.
it again.
That's
Try and
what,
get more people to join. See what happens.
because you know at the Urban Grind, the first and second Wednesday, we call it Own Nights, right? And remember Own Night, but it's Own AUM, you know, Own Nights, and it's Nights with a K, you know, and even in that set, what we were telling people is exactly that. Like I said, one thing that you don't realize, that we don't realize, is that the one universal word, tone, that transcends what we say, race, culture, whatever, is own. And that's still the same. Because you once you get there, it comes back. It's own, right? Because in every culture, because it was a Chinese brother there, and then it was like a Mexican sister there, then it was an African there, and then, you know, we were there, the certain, you know, people were there. So what we said was, if you're trying to think of something and you can't get it, or you're trying to figure out something, what do you say?
Check this out. You go back to what you're saying, the most universal sound.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? On the planet. And so I said it is ma.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah.
And maybe the second is ba.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Ba. And so
Even
look at this.
go ahead.
And just that the frequency that comes from that. Mother, father, ba, ba. You know what I'm saying? Then you look at this cat. Obama.
You
know what I'm saying? That's the formula of the name. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Built in there. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
He's a universal dude. You know what I'm saying? Like the whole
It's
world
true.
knows this dude. You know what I'm saying?
It's it.
Obama. Ma.
Yeah.
That's it.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that's
The Ka and the Ba. What's the Ba? The spirit or something?
Yeah. Ka is the
And
spirit.
these are the most
Ba.
universal sounds.
It's the soul.
The most universal sounds.
Soul.
And that's
Ka, Ma.
The soul of the mother.
yeah. And that's what we're saying. It's like the origin.
Wow.
Which is Michelle. The soul of the mother.
Do it.
Exactly.
You
You know
know,
what I'm
the sciences. I mean, the sciences are there. That's why it's like we gotta tap into. And like you said, we have to start doing the studies. Like we're really not. It's like we're just somebody tells us some knowledge and we just accept it. Somebody gives it and we accept it. Instead of taking it in, and like Dr. York started out, he said question everybody, question everything. Don't believe a word I say. Check it out.
I think some stuff happens, some stuff did not happen.
And that's what that's why that's why I say you have to question
Across the span of all the holy books across the world, some stuff happened,
Right.
some stuff just didn't happen.
And that's the reality of it.
And some stuff is supported with actual archaeological evidence,
right.
You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Substantial proof. You know what I'm saying?
And then
other cultures, you know
Right.
what I'm saying? There's no substantial proof.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Nothing of real substance to substantiate that these things actually happened.
Yep.
Or these people actually did.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Because there's people in other cultures who predate this culture. Who still got their writings, their bodies, their bones, everything. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Where's the stuff for anybody over here? You know what I'm saying?
That's when you
Where
start.
are they?
Right.
Where'd you go? You know what I'm saying?
Like, something to it, like I was saying about the language and the resonance. It's like when we learned Islam in Zambia and in Tula, the first thing they tell you is you got to learn it in Arabic, you know, to really get the key to unlock, you know, the key of the stuff, you know. And then I noticed, you know, the way the Bredren taught us setting Afi, it's like when you say it, it's mostly about the tones, you know. And to me, it sounds like an extraterrestrial language. Like when you really do it, like, cause it's real slow and like and it starts to sound like that, like, and it's mostly like tones and like resonance, you know what I'm saying? You know?
I mean, that's
Once you zone into it. So I guess I'm saying, like, if that's not even the optimum, you know, because I did feel something from it, you know?
No, you're right.
But if that's not even the most intergalactic or the deepest or the one that's most natural for us, then maybe, you know, the Kemetan tones would unlock our keys in a way, you know, in a more intense and quicker way, you know?
It is, and it does, and it will. And what we gotta start first and foremost understanding is that there is a differentiation. There is a pure pose. Everything has a pure position. We have to understand that. The hummingbirds vibrate at a certain level for pure pose. The bees, most of us have heard that bees are not supposed to be flying, you know, according to the mass of their body and the mass of their wings. That's what is it? That's a miracle. That's a miracle because, so what is it? Are they actually flying with their wings, or is that tone that they hum? is that tone that they're chanting.
Exactly.
Giving them the power of levitation.
Exactly.
So when you start doing,
kind of like the hummingbird.
Right. When you start dealing with that, we have those abilities too. If we chant at a certain tone, certain vibration, that's why that's how the pyramids were built, using certain tones. That's why they again
story around to right.
Always. That's what you can't communicate without breathing. That's again vibration. So that's what it's saying. You can't chant without breathing. And knowing how what is it, cats. That's why the cats were significant also in Egypt. The cats were significant in Egypt. Why? Because they purr. And that purring sound sends out a certain type of vibration, certain type of energy.
And I think that's the thing about Om too. And that's the important thing about chanting that involves the children is that they don't have to concentrate. All you gotta do is join in with the community and join into the resonance of whatever tone.
Because they breathe naturally.
Yeah, exactly.
We've lost out on how to breathe naturally. That's why most people are still breathing up here from their chest. And we, again, as Nubians, like Nabior taught, he said that the Caucasus or the Caucasoid, they speak from the nasal. That's why it's on how you doing, hot. That's their natural vibration, their natural tone. It's from the nasal. He said the Hindu or the Dravidian, which was they call the Asiatic black man, they speak from the throat. And saying we speak from the solar plexus, or from the diaphragm. That's why you see Africans that's whatever, when they speak in their tone. They said we need to speak from our diaphragm, from the solar plexus. And the more that helps with the tones too, with breathing. Because if you're speaking from the diaphragm, there you go again, the breath. And so it's all inclusive, yet they're giving us snippets. They won't try.
They don't know all of that stuff is your power.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We have the power.
We do.
But we don't know how to use the power.
Yeah.
You know?
Because we too busy trying to get white power. That's what I was going to say. That's what I was at the Malcolm X festival. No, you start talking about Kemet, it's everything that the white man has told us about Kemet. It's everything that he's told us. And this is Horus. And this is Isis. And this is... It's like that. Those weren't their names. They couldn't have been their names. Because there's no tone in Isis. There's no tone in Horus. There's no tone in Set. There's no tone. There's no vibration.
So give us some Kemetan tone.
Like you say, Sutuk. Sutuk would be Sutuk. And that would what they call Set. But it was Sutuk. Exactly. Suhutri. When you say Suhutri, they take that and now they call them thought. They couldn't say those because they had lisp or whatever, or just from them speaking in the nasal. They speaking from the nasal. So you're not going to hear the tone and the vibration of Dutu or Soto or Ashat. And then you can hear the ancient vibrations of those tones. Then you start feeling it. You start saying it. It's like they didn't have it. They still don't have it. And unfortunately, a lot of this stuff we're learning from them. So we have to take into consideration that when you look at these people who are teaching, the scholars, all you gotta do is world was flat. World was flat. Dark Ages. Bubonic plague. You just remember that. Because nowhere in his story does he tell you how did he come out of the bubonic plague. Bubonic plague, the Renaissance. Whoa. Stop. You just woke up one day and had an epiphany that you want to be a Renaissance now? No, stop playing. Who taught you? Fire. Someone came and taught you that the world's not flat. Someone came and taught you and instructed you. Could it possibly? Now you really can't hold on to that lie when you got the pyramids sitting right here with thousands and thousands and thousands of years predating you. Mm-hmm. So we now know who came in and taught you. So now why are you teaching us? Why are you teaching me? Why are you teaching my children? Why are you instructing my children on what Egypt was and what Egypt wasn't? And what Kemet is and what Kemet wasn't? It wasn't that. It was Kemet. Because the tone, Kemet. Right, just like in Arabic you have Khalifa or Khazar. And then Khazar. You have to roll your, because tones and vibrations. And then if you really want to get down to the nitty gritty, the Zulus, which is where really a lot of that stuff really started, because where did they find Lucy down? In, in Rakatali. So, or when you start looking at that, you start looking at those tones. Then you start getting in those tones.
They was touching on that in Doom. They was touching on
the song.
Now you can use that as a weapon.
Wow.
And, or, you know what I'm saying, to the space around you, you know what I'm saying? And so, that's the thing. It's like what you're saying with your voice alone. You can change the frequency in a room.
That's what.
Just with your voice.
Yep. And that's what it's about.
And where you speak, like you were saying, where you're speaking from here or from here or something. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Just from your voice, just shifting, making sure you're centered there.
Exactly.
And resonating from that space out just with your voice.
Exactly. From that chakra. Exactly.
And then you
can change the frequency in a room.
That's powerful.
Affect it.